This is Jilliana Ranicar-Breese in London, and I'm back with Rebecca Weef-Smith for part 4. Rebecca is going to talk about the story of a dress. Go ahead, Rebecca.
Thank you, Jilliana. Why I want to talk about the story of a dress, I want to go for the why for a minute first, is I think many of us don't realise the psychological impact our individual clothes have on us. And I've found when I'm researching this, and this is about me search as well as research, because this is very, very personal to me, that quite often I will be attracted, and I'm going to use a dress because it's the easiest thing for me to use. So I'll be attracted to a particular dress, and I'll put it on, and you and I have had this discussion before, that it just feels right. It
yes, feels as if you feel like you've always owned it.
Yes, it feels as if something...
And it's comfortable and the fabric is comfortable.
It's as if the clogs just fit into place and this dress was just meant for you.
Absolutely.
And for me, and I know for other people that I've spoken to and when I've researched
it speaks to you.
It does, it speaks to you. And it feels like a second skin. And of course our clothes are very intimate, they touch our bodies. And when I've been thinking about this, a lot of the time for me, it's to do with memory. So often that particular garment will really mean something to me because of a connection with the past. It may well be that I've got a very fleeting image in my head of my mother wearing a similar dress.
Are we talking about vintage fashion?
Not even vintage. It can be a modern dress, but there's just something about it that sparks off that memory, and that connection. That
your mother was wearing that dress on a particular afternoon.
So for instance, in fact, the outfit I've got on today,
yes,
this particular dress,
yes,
I got this dress yesterday.
Oh.
And it is vintage, it's 70s.
And very nice.
And it
lovely
comes
colours.
from Gigi's, from Galina's shop in Walthamstow. So Galina actually started the colour walk. She was the first person.
Oh, Galina!
Yeah,
I've never been to her shop.
So she was the first person to start the colour walks.
Right.
So, and she's become a really good friend. Again, someone else who was...
I'd like to meet her.
Oh, she's beautiful, and her shop is fabulous.
Oh.
So I was there yesterday and we were talking about a project that we're working on together. And I spotted this dress, and it was in her back room. And I just spotted a little bit of the fabric. And as I pulled it out, this dress spoke to me.
What did it say?
It said, "Do you remember?" And I had completely forgotten a dress that I had in 1979. So I was 15. And my mother and I shopped together. It was our big bonding experience. And we'd gone up to Selfridges, and my mother had bought me this dress. Now, I'm pretty certain it's this exact dress. And there is a photo of me that I'm going to find wearing a dress that is so similar to this. And certainly in my head. It might be when I find the photo, the dress is slightly different. But to me, wearing this dress today, I feel like a 15-year-old. I feel my connection with that girl I was then.
How interesting.
And it was like this dress was just there waiting for me.
Yeah.
And Galina had said no one else had actually seen it. In actual fact, she couldn't imagine anyone else even trying it on because, I mean, not the same shape I was when I was 15, but I've still got quite a small waist, and lots of vintage things do suit me and fit me because they've got small, because of the sizes. And then we started talking about this idea that, so often we're drawn to things. Can
I just interrupt you one brief moment? I was telling you about the fashion exhibition in Brighton.
Yes.
Well, in I suppose it would be the mid-80s, I was in Istanbul, and I bought quite a multicoloured woolen jacket. So, pretty 80s, and I had it for years and years, and I loved it and loved it. And eventually the moths got to it. And, about 6 years ago, something like that, I came across it in my cupboard, and I thought, I'm going to give this to a charity shop. And I did. Anyway, then the exhibition was January last year, and there was a section about upcycling. And there was my jacket. Someone had had retrieved it and actually put it in the exhibition.
And re-loved it.
Well, it was, I mean, there were several other things, and the idea was you were meant to try things on and take photographs.
So did you try?
And no, I didn't. And I don't remember about the moth elves, if they were still there. But wasn't that weird? I did photograph it and put it up on Facebook, though.
I think, we
things do come up again. They do come round.
Yeah. Well, we talk about, pre-loved garments.
Yes.
But I also love the idea of re-loving a garment.
Absolutely.
That something like that you, and I think, this sounds, but I really do think those memories do stay contained in the garment. So I think if you've worn something that's had some lovely memories for you, you may well put that on again, which is why it will make you feel happy, because the memories are so lovely.
Yeah.
But also, if you pass that on to someone else, the way that love is enclosed within the textile, I think it really can have an impact on someone else. I mean, I know I've read stories where I'm kind of thinking.
Well, it sounds like a kind of a fairy story, doesn't it? The princess putting. Not the princess, but someone who's going to turn into a princess, putting on the shoes or putting on the dress.
Absolutely, it's like the glass slippers.
That's it. That's the one. Yes.
If they fit, if it's a psychological fit.
Oh yes.
As well as a physical fit.
Well, I hope you're going to write a book about this.
This is a book that is in the process of being written.
Ah.
I've actually got 3 books, but that's one of them.
Oh wow! What are the other 2 books?
So the first book is going to be called How to Be a Happy Dresser.
Okay. And not a theatrical dresser.
No. And it's actually I won't say it's academic, but it's How to Be a Happy Dresser: The Art and Science of Wearing Well.
Have you been commissioned?
I've pitched it twice now. I'm yet to actually get someone to seriously take it up.
Right.
For all sorts of reasons at the moment. But I also really love the idea of actually of writing a novel about a dress and how it changes people's lives as it's passed on to different.
Oh, very interesting.
So almost short stories.
Yes.
But the garment's the thread.
Very good.
That runs through. So we'll see whether that ever gets.
What's the second novel? Book.
So the third one's actually, I think, going to be a memoir. And I'm not.
You're not old enough yet.
No, but I spoke to someone recently, and we were talking about, how memoir is not like autobiography, so it's just like a particular point of. And I was telling someone a story, and that we were just discussing whether it would make a good memoir. So perhaps that may.
Well, I am a memoirist, as you know. Yeah.
But those everyday stories are just so important; they don't get lost, I think.
Okay. Well, in the next episode, we're going to talk about your website. Okay, we mustn't forget that.
Lovely.
Thank you very much, Rebecca.
Thank you, Jilliana.